Christians live in a perpetual battle. We are constantly striving to avoid sin. But Satan has different plans. He wants to tempt you into a life of sin. But how can he convince you to turn your back on God? It could be as simple as getting you to believe a single lie. So what is this lie, and how could it destroy your relationship with God? More importantly, what's the right way for Christians to deal with sin? First, though, there is another important question we need to answer. What is sin, and how does it affect us? At its core, you sin when you ignore God's will. James 4:17 makes it clear, "If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them." Our sins don't just impact our relationship with other people. They also harm our relationship with God. This is what Satan is counting on. The devil wants to trick you into turning your back on God and spiraling into a life of sin. Eventually, this will lead you to hell, where you are permanently separated from God's love. Satan wants us to think that once we accept Christ, we are guaranteed salvation, regardless of the sins we commit. The devil's goal isn't to get Christians to forget sin entirely. Instead, he wants you to get complacent. He knows that if you overlook a few minor sins, you'll start to ignore bigger transgressions. Soon, your righteousness will disappear completely, making it easy for Satan to corrupt your soul. So, what's the right way for Christians to deal with sin? The Bible makes it clear that it's impossible to live without sin. All humans will make mistakes. It's what happens next that's important. We need to seek forgiveness and reflect on our wrongdoings. Only then will we be unburdened from our sins and put back onto the right path. But the road to true forgiveness doesn't end there. An inability to forgive can also harm your spiritual journey. According to Matthew 6:15, if you aren't willing to forgive others, God won't be able to forgive you. Knowing the tricks that Satan uses is just the start. As a master of deception, he is always coming up with new methods to tempt people into sin. But discovering the devil's wicked plan should give you hope. No one is perfect. Even the most virtuous people can fall victim to sin. What happens after you sin is more important. God will forgive you and wipe the slate clean as long as you are willing to learn from your mistakes.